Hello friends, and welcome to Ouroboros Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is a reading looking into whether or not the person on your mind has moved on. So the question we're asking is, have they moved on? We are going to be doing an extended reading today, so if that's something that you're interested in, feel free to join the channel membership in the description box of this video. I also am offering personal readings again for a short period of time. My shop will be open until December 30th. So if that is something that you're interested in, there is a link in the description box of this video for my Etsy shop as well. So go ahead and check that out also. Anyway, friends, I have 3 piles for you guys to choose from today. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Go ahead and pause this video if you need to. Take as much time as you need to find the pile that sits right with your energy as well as with your person's, and I will see you in a minute. Hello, pile 1. So today's pick a card reading is looking into whether or not the person on your mind has moved on. This is obviously a very sensitive question, sensitive topic, so if you're not necessarily ready to hear things beyond what you wish to hear, perhaps it's best to wait until a different time when you feel ready. I'm obviously only going to show you what it is that I see in the cards. That doesn't mean that it is in fact a message for you, so please keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and get into it. There is going to be an extension to this reading today. So if you're interested in watching the extension, you can do that by joining the channel membership. There should be a link in the description box of this video, as well as a link in the comment section down below. For the first portion of this reading, we're going to be looking into how this person remembers you, how they look back on things. We're then going to pull tarot, obviously, and look into whether or not they have moved on. We'll get some channeled messages as well as advice. In the extended version of this reading, we're going to be looking into what it is that this person hopes for the future with you. We're also going to be looking into what it is that they would like to do, what action it is that they would like to take, and we'll look into what the most likely outcome is for the near future, for the upcoming near future. So with that being said, pile 1, let's go ahead and begin. So for the first part of this reading, looking into how it is that they're remembering things, we have the Samaritan. The light attribute is refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. And the shadow attribute is exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. We also have the water chevrotain, and the keyword is anomaly. We have the pangolin, and the keyword is protect. We have the mother. The light attributes are nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. And the shadow attributes are smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. We have the medallion, the golden egg, and we have number 2, mental conflict. So one thing that I keep picking up on is this energy of them feeling as though you were different, you stood out. There's no one like you, or you're going to be somebody who is very, very difficult to replace or to kind of match, in a sense. It feels like this person is looking back and is seeing you as somebody who really had a specialness within you or a rarity within you that was very precious. And it feels like this connection had a lot of potential for this to turn into something incredibly beautiful and expansive. And it feels like it went downhill very quickly. I think that this person is looking at you in both the light and the shadow attributes of both the Samaritan and the mother. It feels like there's so much here indicating a very big heart and a very grand openness to love and to being loved. But at the same time, there's this message coming through of there also being a grand feeling of needing to protect. Like, just as much as you could open your heart space, open up to others, you could quickly shut down and close yourself off entirely in the name of self-protection. However, I think that this may be something that they're looking back on in a sense of it may have done more damage than good. And they're obviously, we're looking at this from their perspective, so there could have been very many reasons that were rightfully warranted as to why you would do this. But from their perspective, how they're remembering it is that even if it was warranted, it caused damage or harm to this connection or to you. I get the feeling that, oh my goodness, I get the feeling that they are recognizing that you were somebody who absolutely would have shown up for them in any way needed, because there is such a big feeling here of love. However, I don't necessarily know if this person was capable of showing up for you the same in return. And from their perspective, this felt like there was there was like an expectation, an unspoken expectation that perhaps they themselves placed on themselves when it came to what it was that they owed you or what it was that you were deserving of. And it feels as though this was something that felt very heavy or overwhelming, overstimulating for them. And again, this could be for a variety of reasons. It could very well be that this person simply did not have the capability of treating you in a fair way, or was unwilling to for whatever reason, but now they're acknowledging that there was an unfairness in that. It feels like for some of you, there may have been a power struggle of some kind, or a struggle within yourself or within themselves to know what the right thing to do is. Like, I feel as though for a lot of you, this connection from their perspective reached a certain point where it was no longer healthy, or it was no longer benefiting either one of you, or it was no longer something that was adding anything positive. And it feels like there was a lot of confusion surrounding this, and rather than accepting things for what they were at that point, there was a lot of conflict in accepting that, and it may have made things even more complicated or even more drawn out in terms of discomfort or heartbreak. Overall, though, I would say that this person seems to be, based on the cards that are coming through, it appears as though this person is looking at the past, looking back on this now with a well-rounded kind of perspective. Like, I don't see somebody who is, like, the cards that are coming through don't contain just absolute bitterness or anger toward the past, toward you, or towards what happened. nor does it seem as though this person is coming at this nostalgia with rose-colored glasses. It feels like this person is remembering the good and the bad. And obviously I didn't pull any cards on this person and how they're remembering themselves. Hold on just a second. Okay, sorry about that, pile one. My alarm went off to remind me to do something. But I'm back. And we've just looked into how they were remembering things. We didn't look into how they're remembering themselves, but we did look into you. And now we're going to pull tarot, and we're going to look into if this person has moved on. Okay, has pile one's person moved on from this connection? Whoops, geez. Okay, well, we have the Fool. A lot came out. I'm only going to take the ones that flipped over. So we have the Emperor. And we have the Ace of Cups. Okay, sorry. My goodness. A little bit hectic. Let's go ahead and shuffle it. Has pile one's person moved on? Okay, we have the King of Wands. Okay, we have the Tower. Why is the Fool here? Please clarify this, the Fool spirit. Why is the Fool here? Have they moved on? Okay. We have the Ten of Cups. Why is the Emperor here? We have the King of Pentacles. Why is the Ace of Cups here? We have the Eight of Swords. Why is the King of Wands here? We have the Nine of Wands. And why is the Tower here? We have Strength. And on the back of the deck, we have the Five of Cups. Okay, so has this person moved on from you, from your connection? The answer to that is no. This person has not moved on. However, what I will say is that this person is still feeling a lot of feelings about this connection having come to an end. This person is definitely still in their heart space, definitely in their feels. There's definitely a lot of mourning what could have been, or perhaps even having a wake-up call of what it is that they lost. If we look at this Five of Cups, this is the bottom of the deck energy. This is the main energy, or the energy that's really surrounding the rest of these cards. And in this particular card, we see a person in a tub. And if you look very closely, I don't know if you can see, but this person, you only see one eye, first off, on this person's face. And they're holding their head in their hands, but there's hands all around holding this face. And it feels like there's a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? This person is very distraught still. And it seems like it's the only thing that they can focus on right now is what it is that they've lost. They feel a profound loss, is what I would say. And I think that these eyes also represent like them seeing things differently. We have this image of all of these eyes here. Then if we look at the Emperor, here it is again. Here's the eye again. The eye is also in the King of Pentacles in the pentacle in the middle of it. And then we have the eye coming out over this tower. There's like a wake-up call, like they've woken up and they see things clearly now. They see the destruction, or they see the damage that they caused, or that this ending caused, regardless of who caused it. They're seeing what has been lost, what has been destroyed clearly at this point. I think that even though they have not moved on, I would say that this person is, in a sense, leveling up, is becoming more... I get the feeling that this ending is causing this person to take a stronger role in their own life and the decisions that they make, perhaps, or in their confidence level. There's definitely like some self-development going on here where it comes to personal empowerment. And I think outside of this one particular area of this person's life, which is this ending, I would say that this person is doing fairly well. But there's this desire here with the Ace of Cups and the Eight of Swords. There's definitely like remorse or an overwhelming amount of feelings towards you still that have not been released. And aces represent rebirths as well. And so there's also an indicative here of this person really desiring a fresh start, an emotional fresh start. However, even though other areas of their life are going so well, even though they feel empowered in other areas of their life, when it comes to this renewal, they don't feel as though it's possible. It feels like there's a block of some kind, like perhaps it's too late. I'm going to clarify this Fool and the Ten of Cups really quickly. Why is the Fool and the Ten of Cups here? Please clarify. We have the Queen of Cups. I get the feeling that they feel as though, and then right on the bottom of the deck now we have the King of Cups. I have a feeling that they feel as though you've moved on to something that brings you a great deal of joy. And this could be another person. This could be somebody who they think is somebody who maybe makes you happier. Like if you've moved on to another connection, this is something that's showing up here where they feel as though you've moved on in that regard. But this also is indicative of you having found... Like perhaps this connection was a connection that really was distracting you from your own growth, or from the things that were really calling to your soul. Like if this is something where it resonated in the beginning when I was talking about how for some of you it feels like this is a connection that had turned south, had gone sour, and the two of you continued it rather than accepting what was happening. If that's something that's resonating for you, it kind of feels like this person is acknowledging that you're better off without them, or that without them bringing you down, you're really in alignment now with what it is that you want, or what it is that you're worthy of. I think that this person is going through the notions or motions, or going through the steps that they need to in order to continue to go about their day-to-day. Like, especially if this is a connection that ended a while ago, I don't necessarily feel as though when I'm saying that this person isn't over it, or this person is distraught, that they're in their bed crying for days on end. It feels more so like you're on their mind still all the time, and it still deeply hurts them what has happened, what has transpired, and what they desire is a fresh start of some kind. But there's also acknowledgement here of there not being the possibility of that for whatever reason, whether or not that's because you're now in a different connection with someone else, or perhaps you've moved to a new location. Whatever the case may be, there is like there's an energy here of trying to take this in stride, or trying to take this gracefully. So it may appear to you guys as though this person is fine. But they have not moved on. No. Let's go ahead. I'm going to get some oracles. We'll see what else comes through. Jeez. Okay. Well, more wanted to fly out. Let's see. So we have noble. We have smother. We have repopulation. Let's get one more. And we have the one who hides the sun. And then on the back of the deck, we have justice. I think this person feels as though you are much better off without them. I get the feeling that they see themselves as somebody who was holding you back, was dulling your shine, wasn't allowing you to be as big as you actually are. What I didn't say earlier, and now I'm getting the words for it, is this person has not moved on. This person still feels a lot when it comes to this separation, but at the same time, there isn't resistance to it. Yeah, let's go ahead and get you guys some channeled messages. Let's go ahead and see what comes through. What is it that this person wants to say to pile one? I know the clock is ticking for us. Won't you wait for me? So much has happened between us in the past. Can we work through it again? We have, I keep being drawn back to you and I can't quite explain why. And I didn't know what I had until you were gone. Lesson learned. And then on the back of the deck, I'm staying away from you because the last thing I want to do is hurt you. Yeah, I mean, we have time, unresolved, magnet, lessons, and gentle. It feels like it's a very clear answer. No, this person is not over you. So, lastly, before we get into our extended reading, I'm going to get some advice. I need to go grab my cards. We're just going to get some affirmations and see what comes through. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull 2. What affirmations are there for pile 1? I am in sync with the flow of life. And, oh, okay. I celebrate all the greatness in my life. And I send a prayer of love to all beings in need of a miracle. It's really beautiful. It feels like, especially with this card, the I send a prayer of love, it almost feels like a message of needing to maintain that distance, at least for the time being. However, it's a reminder that we're still all connected, and if there is still love there for this person, you can send that their way. But with these 2 cards, the key word that I'm seeing is life in both of these. And this, I celebrate all the greatness in my life, it just reminds me of that bigness that it seems as though this person was trying to keep small. And with this card here, it feels like whatever it is that this person is seeing when it comes to you having moved forward, you being in alignment with who you are or what it is that you want, this is confirmation of that you are where you are meant to be currently. But that's what I'm seeing today, pile 1. Thank you so much for watching. If you are wanting to watch the extension, please feel free to join the membership. We're going to be looking into what it is that this person hopes. I did obviously see a little bit of that already, but we're going to look into what it is that they want to do, and what the most likely outcome is for this connection in the near future. So if I see you in a minute, I see you in a minute. Otherwise, I hope that I will see you in another video soon. Bye. Hi, pile 2, and welcome to your reading on Have They Moved On? Obviously, this is a sensitive topic, so if you're feeling a little bit sensitive, or if this is still very fresh, it may be best to wait until a different time when things feel a little bit more stable or grounded for you. Obviously, use your judgment on whether or not this is something that you want to hear. But yeah, let's go ahead and get on into it. So we're first going to look at how this person is remembering you, looking back and seeing you now, as well as how they're remembering the connection. We'll pull tarot to see whether or not they have in fact moved on from this connection. We'll clarify with some oracles. We'll pull channeled messages, as well as get advice at the end. There is going to be an extension to this reading today. So if that is something that you're interested in, we're going to be looking into what it is that they hope will happen between the 2 of you, what it is that they would like to do when it comes to this connection, what action they would like to take, as well as what the most likely outcome will be for the 2 of you within the near future. So if that's something that you're interested in, there is a link in the description box of this video in order to join the channel membership. But that's it. Let's go ahead and get into it, pile 2. So when it comes to how your person is remembering you, we have the Fool. The light attributes are fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. And the shadow attributes are using humor to wound rather than liberate, denial of your own emotional truth. We have the Snow Leopard with the keyword being astute, the Hedgehog with the keyword being indulge. We have Child Nature. The light attributes are friendships with animals, communication with nature spirits, and the shadow attributes are tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. We also have number 2, the Waiting Game. We have the Heart, and we have the hyena. Okay, so the message is very clear and it's very specific. So if this doesn't resonate for you, this probably isn't your pile. But it feels like this person is looking back on this connection as one that had a lot of opportunity or a lot of potential when it comes to the depths of the emotions that the two of you could have shared. But I kind of get the feeling that this person feels as though you weren't all in for whatever reason. This could mean you weren't all in terms of you weren't ready for a commitment, a more serious commitment. It could be that this person is viewing things from the perspective of somebody who was insecure, and this truthfully isn't what was the case. Obviously, you know your person best, but it feels like they are seeing you as somebody who may not have let on entirely when it comes to how deeply you were feeling for them. Like, it feels like they only were able to scratch the surface when it comes to getting to know you, or when it comes to seeing what was within your heart. I get the feeling that this person may have wanted you to take more of an active approach in this connection, but it seems more so like you, from their perspective, are somebody who is more so going to adapt to your environment rather than change things. I get the feeling that they feel as though they were waiting in vain, or they were waiting for something that was never going to actually come into fruition. Keep in mind, this is from their perspective. So if this doesn't resonate at all, it isn't your pile. But if this feels as though this may be what they felt as though was the truth, this is probably the truth from their perspective. And this isn't to say that they remember you as someone awful. They remember you as somebody who is incredibly kind-hearted, very gentle, very fun to be around, magnetic, or there's like a glow to you or a light to you that other people are drawn to. But when it came to where they wanted this connection to head, it seemed as though you guys had come to a standstill of some kind. So if that resonates, let's go ahead and ask the cards if they've moved on. Has pile 2's person moved on from their connection? Okay, so we have the 7 of Swords. We have the 4 of Cups. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Have they moved on? We have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the 6 of Swords. Why is the 7 of Swords here? We have the 9 of Wands. Why is the 4 of Cups here? We have the 8 of Swords. Why is the Queen of Pentacles here? We have the 3 of Cups. Why is the Ace of Pentacles here? We have the 9 of Pentacles. And why is the 6 of Swords here? We have the Wheel of Fortune. And then on the back of the deck, we have the 7 of Wands. Okay. So the overall energy that I am picking up on from these cards is the feeling of bitterness. That's not something that has been released here. This person still feels very bitter. And I get the feeling that there's resentment and anger here for potentially feeling duped, and they're not necessarily ready to let this go yet. It feels like this feeling of resentment, these feelings of bitterness, are something that they are recognizing is truly holding them back, is inhibiting their growth, their forward movement. But they feel very much so stuck on this. I want to clarify the Queen of Pentacles and the Three of Cups. We have the Lovers here, and the Ace of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles. Okay. I kind of wonder if for some of you, you are in another connection now. And it seems to be, if that is something that is the case for you, it seems as though this person is looking at your life, like where you're at currently, and they feel a sense of betrayal. And this could be because they genuinely just don't know how you moved on so fast. But I'm also thinking, like, one thing that's popping into my head is the scene. It's a scene from 500 Days of Summer, where at the very end, Summer meets that guy, I don't remember what his name is, at the park. And she's now engaged, and he can't wrap his head around why she didn't want to take that type of commitment with him. And he feels very hurt by this, but those feelings or that sureness just wasn't there for her with him. And I get the feeling that this person may not necessarily be understanding the whole picture of what's going on. I get the feeling that they feel very powerless. Like this person has not recognized that they have the power to decide what course they want to take their life now. It feels like they feel very victimized in a lot of ways by how the past turned out. And there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of acceptance here for the past being something that can no longer be changed. And it feels like they feel as though they're kind of just being dragged wherever the wind takes them or wherever life takes them. It feels like they're having a pity party of some kind. They could very well be throwing themselves into work, or other areas of their life that are very grounding in order to kind of try to not think of this. But when it comes to processing things, it doesn't really feel as though they're open to processing what has transpired between the two of you. It feels like there is a lot of defensiveness and anger here. If it doesn't resonate for you that you are in a connection of some kind, it could very well be that this person is throwing themselves into another connection, and they're doing so without having acknowledged that there are still cords, energetic ties to you that they have not released. let's go ahead and pull some oracles and see what comes through. Has this person moved on? Has pile 2's person moved on? What have I missed? Yep, we have slimy. Dependency. It feels like this person is almost waiting for you to make some sort of decision or come forward in some sort of way or take an action of some kind in order to help them feel better. Like they're not, it doesn't feel like this person wants to take responsibility for their own well-being. And almost for some of you, they're placing blame on you for their unhappiness. What is it that I've missed? Everything will be okay. And stay back. And on the back of the deck we have can't be caught. There's a lot of avoidance here that I'm picking up on. Slimy is a card that represents jealousy and feeling insecure, feeling stuck. I wouldn't, to answer the question, no, this person has not moved on, but it doesn't feel like, it feels like they haven't moved on because they're choosing to stay on a hill that is full of grudges. I would even say for some of you that this person is pushing away others who want to help, who want to connect with them. It feels like this person has tunnel vision when it comes to their own discomfort. They're not in a very good place, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and pull some channeled messages. What is it that pile 2's person wants to say to pile 2? You're the missing puzzle piece that makes me feel that I'm right where I belong. Thinking about you makes me emotional, and I want to open up to you about how I am feeling. I wish I could. And then we have ... Let's get one more. I know the clock is ticking for us. Won't you wait for me? Yeah, it seems like they recognize that there are a lot of really big feelings here, and it seems like they're refusing to make any changes when it comes to those really big feelings that bring about discomfort. And it seems like they're, even though they do feel this sense of pain, and they do feel as though you could fix it in some sort of way, there's a stubbornness here when it comes to them taking their power back. This person definitely feels like they are somebody who is very codependent and who, regardless of what has happened between the two of you, regardless of anything that you may have done, there comes a point where you have to take responsibility for your well-being, and it seems like this person is adamant on not doing so. What advice is there for pile 2 when it comes to this connection? Creativity flows from me. I am a divine creator. Let me be still today and listen to the truth in silence. When I lead from a place of love, people respect me. Obviously, take these how they resonate for you first and foremost, but the message that's most strongly coming through for me is that there's this calling here to almost take an inactive approach, or not allow this person to manipulate you in any sort of way, and to remind yourself that creating boundaries is not something that is cruel in any way, and there are ways in which to enforce boundaries while still coming from a place of love and respect and kindness. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you guys today, pile 2. If you are interested in looking at the extension, feel free to join me now. Otherwise, I hope that I will see you in another video soon. Bye! Hello, pile 3, and welcome to your reading asking if the person on your mind has moved on. Of course, this is a very sensitive topic, so please practice caution when watching this video. If this feels like something that you might not be ready to listen to, perhaps turn it off until a different time. I'm obviously only going to be honest about what it is that I'm seeing in the cards, but that doesn't mean that this is your message. So first and foremost, always use your own intuition, and always remember that energy is always changing. Things are always changing. So with that being said, there will be an extended reading today on this topic. So if that's something that you're interested in, feel free to join the channel membership. There should be a link in the description box of this video if that's something that you're interested in. But to start, we're going to look into how this person is looking back on you and on the connection. And for that, we have the visionary. The light attributes are capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. And the shadow attributes are selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. We also have the falcon, with the keyword being cordial. We have the athlete. The light attributes are dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower, and strength of spirit. And the shadow attributes are misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, false sense of vulnerability, and entitlement. And we have the meerkat, with the keyword being encourage. And you guys got 3 of these cards, and the third one is the avenger. The light attributes are a desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. And the shadow attribute is resorting to violence in the name of a cause. We also have the stingray, the bardo, and number 5, conflict and defeat. Okay, so how does this person remember you? How do they remember the connection, pile 3? I feel very strongly like this person is remembering you in a very positive light. They're remembering you as somebody who perhaps even gave them different perspectives to life that perhaps they had never thought of before. You expanded their horizons. You helped them evolve in a lot of ways. You were a teacher of some kind. Perhaps you were very literally a teacher. That was your career at the time. Or this was more of like you are a very nurturing person, or that's at least how they're remembering you. I get the feeling that there were probably a lot of arguments within this connection with conflict and defeat here. But even with this conflict and defeat card, we have the falcon, which represents somebody who is still capable of being kind and respectful and loving, regardless of whether or not you see eye to eye on something. I think you really challenged this person. Challenge them in the sense of you were somebody who was challenging yourself to be a better version of yourself, to go through your shadows or things that felt cringy to you to look at within yourself. You were somebody who was open to change, open to criticism, open to evolving. And because of that, there seems to be a lot of rapid growth that they're remembering you going through. Somebody who was not willing to put up with things that they didn't deserve. And this person may very well have been somebody who challenged that. And I don't necessarily feel as though you let them get away with treating you poorly or treating others poorly. There definitely seems to be for a lot of you like a social justice type of mindset that I'm seeing here. And this goes beyond just yourself. Like, obviously there's self-love here, and there's a recognition that you deserve respect just as much as others do. But I think that they're viewing you as somebody who was beyond having learned that and was emanating that love and respect and those expectations of treating others that way on like a global scale. Like, I think they saw you as somebody who either was making a difference or had the potential to make some really serious changes within your community, within your family, within your own self. And some of those changes really trickled down to this person. It does feel like they see this connection as one that really was transitionary for them. It really changed them. It changed them on a profound level, is what I would say. It helped shape who they are today. But they are remembering the conflict. Let's see what comes through. So we've looked at that. We're going to look at whether or not they've moved on. We're also going to look into channeled messages, and then we'll get some advice. For the extension today, we're going to be looking into what it is that they're hoping for this connection, what action they're wanting to take, as well as what the most likely outcome is going to be in the near future for the two of you. Okay. Let's see pile 3. Has pile 3's person moved on? Have they moved on? Okay, we have the 5 of Pentacles. We have the Page of Wands. We have the 7 of Wands. We have the 5 of Wands. And we have Temperance. Why is the 5 of Pentacles here? We have the Page of Pentacles. Why is the Page of Wands here? We have the Queen of Wands. Why is the 7 of Wands here? Okay, we have the King of Cups and the Emperor. Why is the 5 of Wands here? We have the Hermit and the World. And why is Temperance here? We have the 3 of Swords. And on the back of the deck, we have Death. Okay, and underneath that, we have the 6 of Cups. Has this person moved on? The quickest thing, like the quickest message, the fastest message that has come through is that when it comes to the sting, like the open wound, it feels as though there's some healing that has been done. Like, if this connection ended a while ago, it feels as though it's not a fresh wound anymore. There's been healing, but it has the possibility of being reopened. But I do sense that there's been a lot of healing here and a lot of acceptance for the ending that has happened. And that's not to say that there aren't feelings here, but it does seem as though this person has kind of accepted things for what they are and has chosen to close out a cycle that was very conflict-ridden in order to, like, I don't see resentment here. I see somebody who recognizes that they themselves are in control of the choices that they make, and they are seeking that same internal insight and wisdom that they saw you having. Oh my God. I love Lily very, very much, but there are certain days where she really likes to get in my bubble, and I just want a little bit of space. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, it feels like this person has made an active decision, a very intentional decision to take control over their choices, over their feelings, and not let their passions get the best of them. I do want to clarify, why is the Page of Wands and the Queen of Wands here? We have the Queen of Cups. Why is the Five of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles here? We have the Five of Cups. Oh, hold on just a second. Okay, sorry about that, pile 3. My Roomba just started going off on its own, so I had to stop that real quick. But one thing that I feel with this Page of Pentacles and then the Five of Pentacles, especially with this Five of Cups coming out with it, I mean, we have the Five of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Wands. We also have the Five of Swords coming out with conflict and defeat at the beginning of this. It feels like there's recognition on this person's end of like there having been a lot of strife or hurt or incompatibility at one point or another when it came to this connection. And I think that a lot of this has to do with this Page of Pentacles being someone who is not necessarily equipped to this. The pages are very immature. They're still learning. They're still evolving. And I think that there's recognition here that perhaps the two of you or this person was not necessarily equipped for what was to come with this connection. And because of that, there was heartbreak and rejection here. I think it's interesting that the Queen and the King of Cups have come out. It feels like I almost feel as though this person is remembering you as somebody who was obviously like very heart-centered, very watery, but also very passionate. And I think that there is or was a lot of attraction here. I think that there still is when it comes to this person and whether or not they've moved on. One thing that they feel as though they have to kind of defend themselves against almost is the fact that they are still very much so attracted to you. And like the imagery I'm getting is this Emperor, which is a card of like going to war or being determined, making moves, making calculated decisions. And then with the Seven of Wands coming out above it, we have this person using a shield, and the wands have been stopped by this shield. And it feels like they feel as though they have to protect themselves from the passion that they still feel from you, or else they would become this King of Cups again and be in their heart space for you. So I would say that when it comes to, has this person moved on? I would say that this person has made an active choice to move on, to move forward, and has healed from some really big wounds that perhaps this ending caused. But there's also acknowledgement here that this is an active decision, and there are still a lot of feelings and attraction here for you. Let's go ahead and... I need to get my other deck. Hold on just a second. Let's get some oracles and see what else comes through. Oh, okay. Well, these two cards were already out. We have number 4, Mysterious Mother. We have Rainbow Bridge, number 37. Is there anything that I missed, Spirit? Slimy and Can't Be Caught. And then on the back of the deck, we have Good Things. I would say that this person has moved on from the feelings of resentment or hurt that they once felt, but the feelings of love and the feelings of being connected to you, the happy memories are still there. The happy memories and the good feelings are still there for you. Let's go ahead and get some channeled messages. What channeled messages, what is it that pile 3's person wants to say to pile 3? I'm unavailable. I don't know what has happened between us. If you're confused, I'm confused too. We have, I just want to have fun with you. We have, this isn't about you. I'm working through a personal issue. Within a year or more. And on the back of the deck, it says, moving on. I feel like we both need to go our separate ways for a while. I feel like with this card here, especially Taken, this person may very well have, because it does feel as though a lot of time has passed between the two of you. And if that's the case, it does feel as though this person has put themselves into another relationship, is in something committed. And again, I feel like we both need to go our separate ways for a while. It feels like this person definitely is having to actively choose to move on rather than is just over things in general. It doesn't feel like this isn't about you and I just want to have fun with you. The resentment or the hurt, this person is choosing to release it, has released it. Within a year or more, that's interesting. It feels like there may be intentions on this person's end to perhaps rekindle things in some sort of way, whether or not that's through a friendship or whether or not it's through trying things again. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get you guys some advice before we close this out and start the extended. What advice is there for pile 3? Let me be still today and listen to the truth in silence. We also have taking care of myself is a radical act of self-love, and my power lies in my peaceful presence. There's this element here of staying in the present moment and perhaps recentering yourself when you see yourself kind of floating away back to the past where there's rumination. Obviously, take those as they resonate for you first and foremost, but that's what I'm seeing for you guys today, pile 3. If I don't see you in the extended reading today, hopefully I will see you in another video soon. Bye!